Well, obviously I'm on B camera, which is why I'm leaning down, because this lens is not that wide. And Rosie the Wonder Dog is here with me, trying to get out, because Mary's downstairs. And I've got 30 minutes. That's right, this is build a model in 30 minutes. You're going to see me build a model in 30 minutes. I'm just kidding. I've decided I have so many kids, and so many of you have been so kind, both model companies and friends, who have asked me about my hair, who have sent me kits. I've decided that if I don't start building them, I never am going to build them. And you know how that is, and I'm tired of it. So I've decided, I told Mary, 30 minutes at least every day before I leave work, I'm going to do 30 minutes on a model kit. So, okay, fine. We all know how fast this will build, and I love it. You know, if you don't know what this is, then you need to learn your science fiction movie history. And I don't mean to be mean, but I really mean that. Get it? Smile face. This is a great model. This has to be built, and this will be lighted as well. So I'm going to light the engine and the interior. So this, of course, is one of my favorite models of all time, or one of them anyway. And I really wish there was a big model of it, but there isn't. There's this one, and I want to work on this. I wanted one of these. I got them the other day, and I said, by God, I know it's not 100% scale and all that, but I want it. It's what I wanted when I was just out of high school and never bought one and never built one, and so we're going to do it. So what I wanted to do was, I was looking over the model, and I thought, gee, it would be really neat to light this kit up. Light up the engines, and light up the cockpit, and because it just has, there's no openings for windows here at all. They didn't think about stuff like that back during the early 70s and or the 60s. So, but it shouldn't be that hard, right? I need to cut these windows open. Now, it's pretty thick there, so, and they just give you a little decal. Or as the British like to say, a decal. The decal, the decal, the la la la, it does show you the driver's looking out the window. And it's a really nice little decal too, it really is, and it does work, but you know what, I've decided I want to light this up. You know me, I love the light. I'm going to open up this bloody windows. And I'm going to do it without any drills and stuff. I'm just going to kind of go in there. As it turns out, the number 3 is the top side. I did indeed start cutting the right one, but I'll get this back in frame here. I'm just going to open these up with an X-Acto blade. Nothing fancy here. I'm going to do this to camera. It's not easy. So we're going to do that. I'm going to open these up. We'll come back when they're all cut open. X-Acto blade and some MIDI files, and we've got some nice open windows. And I've just been using these real tiny files here and going in there and getting these. I need to flip this monitor so that it's a mirror image because it's driving me nuts, but you get the idea. I've just been going in there, sanding those, and getting them just right until they come out like so. Alright, now I know in the TV show we never really do see those windows lit up in the cabin, the passenger cabin area, the science lab, whatever you want to call it. But I'd like to light them up, so I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm just going to drill some holes with this little drill. So I'm going to drill these little holes. Always fun to do when your monitor is reversed. I'm about ready for a new battery. I'll show you how to do this though. All the way around. Now I can very simply go through here on this and cut them out. You'll just go through there really easy when you do it this way. already this blade's getting dull. This would not happen with the tester's blades. And that window's gone. Now I'm just going to go around it with this blade and trying to keep it in frame so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to slice as close to the edge as I can of the window frame. And then file the rest. And now I'm going to file it out. And this is wide enough I can use this big file right here. So we're going to do that. File that out really nice and smooth. Use the smaller files. I went too close to the edge of the frame a little bit. And there we got a nice window open, the way it should have been in the first place. Of course, now I have to do it to 11 more windows. So there we go. That's what I did in 30 minutes. I cut out those 3 windows there, and which is great. There you go. And I cut out those 2 windows there, which is really great. Tomorrow, in my next 30 minutes, I'll cut out the rest of these windows, probably get even a little further, start putting some parts together and primering and all that stuff. It's a nice model kit. I mean, it's really old, and it's got some things that are kind of, you know, funky from the era from it, but it ultimately will make a really nice model. I've seen a bunch of you guys build them, and they really came out nice. You guys did excellent jobs. I forget the gentleman's name who put the lights inside the framework, which aren't canon, but then again, as I was saying, it's really fun to do things that maybe they might have done to this model. Especially, you know, we got Space 2099 that might happen. We're hoping it happens, and you know, they probably would have done stuff like that. Who knows? So another 30 minutes today, and I got all these windows cut out and light blocked, so we can actually put lights in these very, very soon and light up these cabins. Although I want to build just some kind of little interior feeling there, but you can see how well these are opened up now, so they'll transmit light, and we're not getting any light leaks through here at all. I'll put it up there so you can see, and that's just using Krylon dark gray primer on the inside, because that's what I had and that's what I used, and it worked perfectly. 30 more minutes today. I guess that makes 3 days, 30 minutes. That's 1 hour and a half. And these are just press fitted on for now, because obviously I have to primer and paint all these, and this was like so. But this is what's left to put on parts wise. I still have the thrusters. I didn't separate them so I wouldn't lose them over here. They have to go on in that little bracket there that holds this on, but you know, this is not going to be removable for the reason that I'm going to have wiring running through this to light up the engines and to light up this. Well, we exceeded by a tad our 30 minutes, but I did get primer on all the parts, and I used the duplicate stuff, which I really like because it really goes on smooth and nice. And thank you, Mr. Eaton, for pointing it out to me. I really like working with that stuff. It's stinky. It's lacquer based, but it's great stuff. Well, another 30 minutes, and look what I got. I got the engine bells here painted up, and I used, well, I used all clads. I also used, because I ran out, the tester's metallizing, non-buffing stuff, and burnt magnesium and burnt metal. So I'm really pleased with that. We're a little sticky still. Got the feet done. Painted them with the combinations of things to make them look kind of gunmetal-y. Of course, I got the hull white on everything else, and it's very, very well light blocked now. You can see now clearly the windows that are cut out. So I'm very happy. So this makes, what, 2 hours of work so far.
come Monday, we're going to put in windows and we're going to backlight inside and add little kind of details and stuff. And we're going to start assembling this model. I'm going to paint a lot of the sub-assemblies first. Back on B camera, and we did our other 30 minutes today. And in 30 minutes, I managed to get, and I need to make the inside of the cabin white and put some kind of something in there that suggests that there's people in there, or movement, or some lights or something, panels, something. I need to look at the inside again. It's been a long time since I've seen what's in there, but you can see it's lit up pretty well, and it looks really cool, better than those decals. And this is looking really, really good. 30 more minutes. So what do I get done? Well, I've still got a few minutes to go. What I've done is put these nice orange LEDs in here and put that wiring through here. And I'm going to hook up these resistors over here to these ends here and hide them back in here, and that will hook up to the main power, and that will give me lighted up engines. And but now it's time to go take the dogs for a walk and come back and do this when I get back. 30 minutes, and we managed to get our nice engines all lit up and looking beautiful. So those are going to be really cool. Once I get them all fixed off, I just sort of tacked it together. Everything's lit in the model. I'm going to turn the lights down, and you'll be able to see that. And here we go. Looking really cool. I've always wanted to do this since I was a kid. So another 30 minutes or so on the model here, and I built this base which has a brass piece I soldered that goes in it like so and fits underneath like that, which will be painted black. And what's great about this is that the model is positionable. You can actually change how it's positioned on this. You can turn it this way, you can turn it this way, crash dive, you can position it like that. You can pretty much face it any way you want, so it's like it's flying through space. And everything's lit up, as you can see, and this is with, you know, bright overhead office lighting. I'll turn off the lights in a minute, but this can be positioned just any way I want, so it's flying through space. Now, you see this big piece of plastic there? I'm going to curve that and have a curved piece coming from here like so, and from here like this, and it's going to have a lot of fiber optics in it to light up stars. And down here, I'm going to make a moon surface that it's flying over, which I think will look really, really cool. And here she is, all lit up in the dark. A bit more than 30 minutes. You can see what I'm up to here. Yes, I'm going to put in all kinds of fiber optics that Elliot Brown sent me and light them as you see them now. I'm going to do all different sizes, and then I'm going to do some airbrushing in there, give it some space feel. And down here we're going to have the moon surface, and I had to build these brackets to go around, put this bar through it, which is faced with electrical tape, which makes it nice and black. This keeps the structure very, very sound, and the walls nice and flat. It cost me, as I was trying to push this into this and get it to tighten up, we got a scoop. Ooh, full of blood. Yum. So you can see temporary electrical connections and everything that is going on here, and the understructure of the base. This is really turning out really, really cool. And we're back to B camera today because Mary's busy working on a Halloween costume for her dear friend and my friend too, Emily. And there's Mary over there. Hi, Mary. Hi. Working on Emily's costume. Mermaid. Yes, and I'm working on this still. And what I'm doing is I took this piece of foam core and cut it so it fits in here, like about so. Well, the whole idea is to have it in here at an angle, like so. Okay, and then I put tape on it. Of course, I ran out of packing tape. I put some gaffer's tape there to seal off the foam core so I can build a lunar surface on it. And what I'm going to do is something similar to this, and I'm going to do it, and this is for the Luna rocket ship, as they call it. And I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to do it out of ultracal and do the old trick where you splatter more ultracal on it, and it actually creates craters like you see there. In theory. Now, I'm supposed to be up high over the moon's surface, so I don't really want a lot of big stuff, but you know what? I'll be happy with whatever I get. One of my concerns is how to keep this stuff attached to this surface, because ultracal is just going to pop off this tape and crack and everything. So I thought maybe if I took some burlap and used some 3M77, I would spray adhesive that down and attach this, and at very worst, if it came off, I could glue it back on and it would hold its shape because it's got an underlying structure, sort of a built-in rebarb or fiberglassing, if you will. Alright, we've got our ultracal, and I'm hoping my darn battery doesn't die while I'm doing this. It's getting close. We're going to put the ultracal on here, like so, and do it all the way around nice and smooth. And then we're going to flick and the ultracal onto the surface to get the crater effect after I smooth this. Now, a nice thing about ultracal, like plaster, this will take a very long time to set up. So I'm going to come back to save battery in a moment. Now, to get it flat and smoothish, I did this, and that just takes it right down. Now, to get my craters, and let's see how we do with this. We're going to kind of do this. And it's not 100% what I want, but it's not bad either. Now, I don't like that, so I'm going to flatten it down again. And I'm going to try a different technique, and I think what I'm going to do is actually, well, that's interesting. Still not exactly what I want. So what I'm going to do is do it again. And I'm going to take just some water and splatter water and see what happens. Okay, so the water gives me the effect that I want, because I want little craters, and these just does, I don't know if you can see this, these are just freaking perfect, because it's doing a lot of what really happens to the moon's surface when it got these in the first place. Really nice. And that is pretty much what I want. Alright, now I think you see much better here. The really cool lunar surface that I got doing this technique. And that's how we do that. This will harden up. I will trim this up and I will paint it. It's almost even the right color, and we'll have our surface. Good stuff. We are looking at the surface of the moon, and I mean we're looking at the surface of the moon. I've trimmed it out. I still have some more trimming to go to get it to fit upstairs, but I'll hold this in some contrasty light. And if you look like right down into these, I mean, it is quite amazingly so much like the real moon surface. It's quite amazing. In fact, let's go out in the sun. Okay, here we go. I mean, that is quite something, because we're in real sunlight. I just love the detail. Look at that crater right there. Pretty cool. And then you back out, you say, oh my god, that's just a little miniature. I must confess that all this took longer than a half hour. But that is an hour and a half making our moon surface. And Mary had the really cool idea. So you may not like this idea, but I think it's really a neat idea. And that was to put the earth in, which I did, and I did that. I had some transparency paper, but for some reason my printer wouldn't print it. So what I did was I printed it out anyway on paper at a fairly high resolution, and then cut a hole in the plastic and took the transparency paper and glued the printout on that and backlit it with some LEDs, which give you this effect. To the Eagle, it's been a long time since I've done anything, and in fact, I've been working on the J.J. Abrams mobile so much that hoping to finish that. I haven't had much time to work on this. However, I did manage to seam some of the gaps, which are difficult to get to. I should have done them before I put this on, but you know, I can still get in there and sand. So we're going to do that first and put everything back to white, and with the seams gone, we're going to glue this on permanently. And we have not put the thrusters on yet because there's a decal that goes there. So let's get going. The first thing I need to do is disconnect the Eagle itself, and I'll show you how that's done. Not only are we on a tripod, we're on a good tripod with a good dolly. Thank you, Elliott Brown of Warm Plastic, for giving us the nice dolly. See, I can roll around like this. Isn't it cool? It'll take some getting used to. The floor is uneven. If I hold this down really steady, it still kind of does that, but it's kind of neat to have, and plus it's steady. And well, I'm going to stop saying and. What we're going to do is we're going to disconnect this. First thing we'll do is turn that off here, and right now I've just got temporary connectors back here hooked up, so it should be pretty easy. The Eagle only has, oh, I see, I soldered this for some reason unknown to the human race. Boy, that wire is strong. You'd think you could just break that. There you go. We're going to take that off like that. So this whole thing, rather wonderfully, just removes like that. And now I can work on the model any way I want. So we're going to do that, and we're going to sand the edges here. So getting in here was a problem, but I invented a tool. I just take a piece of brass and I C8 some sandpaper, yeah, that's what it's called, to that, and now I'm able to get in there, which works really well, which is what I pretty much figured I would do when I hastily, before I had to leave the other day, put some putty on this because I wanted to get something done. That was very, very effective. It's all sanded, so now I can touch that up. This is all ready to be touched up, so next step, of course, is to touch it up with the airbrush and some white paint. So now it's time for painting, and using the wonderful dolly that Elliott sent me, we're going to, you know, do a moving shot. Hey, there we go. Hey, whoa. There's a obstruction there. What I'm going to do now is touch up the white paint, and then start doing all the dark stuff that goes between this structure here, because this is really supposed to be open, and their solution was, rather than create a lot of this and have you put it together, was to paint these areas in here dark to make it appear that way. So here we go. Little booger there. Be very careful not to get this on our windows. Although a little bit doesn't bother me, because, you know, when things have been in space. No, this paint's a little on the thin side. I thinned it too much. This is kind of a problem. It's hard to tell if it's coming out when it's white. I sure like this Iwata airbrush. I'm just, you know, I've never used my Pache again. I'm trying not to block camera. It's really hard. I should have done this first, and but I didn't. So we're going to do a little weathering and airbrushing down there too. And I see the seam is still showing, because that's how pesky seams can be. Seems to me that seams can be pesky. So what I'm going to do is go back in with the squadron. So finally I've got all this stuff darkened in, and you know, I actually went back over it with some white, because really it shouldn't be that dark. I know a lot of people have done it that way, and I know why, but I just don't like it, so I lightened it back up. Now I'm putting some weathering on it, because you know me, I like my ships weathered. but they've been used. Not too much, not too crazy, just enough. You know, oh, it should help if I be in frame. Okay, so I've been doing it up in here, kind of darkening this area here. Okay, I have been weathering, and I got all this stuff painted in here, and that was hard to do. You know, part of me wanted to leave it white, but it just looked so bad white alone that I went in with a Sharpie, a very fine tip Sharpie, and had a couple different ones. They even make a white Sharpie, and I was able to point that up pretty well and give it the effect of there being shadow in there. Basically, at this point, what I'm ready to do is put the decals on and see what other areas I might want to paint. Well, it's time to put decals on, and what I did first is I put a whole bunch of, I didn't have any clear. So I used crystal clear Krylon. You know what? I got lucky. It worked great. I mean, it's really a nice clear coat for models. This thing is shiny as heck, so we're not going to have any icing problems. I also wondered where the heck on the instructions, or the destructions, where the heck are the, where did the decals go? I mean, they don't make this really clear. You know, there's a little thing, and then I'm looking at the box for pictures to go by. And, you know, forget the iPad, and right on the box, it beautifully shows where all the decals go. So, important safety tip, guys, when you're building this model, and girls, look at the side of the box. Don't do what I did. And first off, I'm going to start with stuff I immediately recognize, because those are always the easiest ones to do. Someone asked me, Steve, are you going to put on the thrusters? Well, the reason I put the thrusters on is because of these. See? Those go on first. Who's on second? Sorry. You know, you gotta love that routine. So I'm sitting here waiting for these to start sliding around, thinking, oh gee, I hope these decals are going to be okay because they're really old. No, this is a re-release, so it should be fine. So, boy, that stuff came out shiny. We're going to have to put some dull coat on it afterwards. They are starting to, in fact, move. I gotta tell you, if you get a chance to get aftermarket decals for this kit, do. These might as well be 40, 50 years old. They break up, they don't. I tell you, not even this stuff will break them down. And when it does, they just disintegrate. You know, nothing seems to soften them. The Microsol seems to work the best, but it's really pathetic. They're very bad decals. Burn them, make a barn fire out of them, do a Mexican hat dance on them, whatever you can do, but don't use them. I'm sure somebody makes better decals for the model. The model's great. I like the model, but the decals are less than stellar. Did I say they were less than stellar? Yes. I mean, they tear so easily. They don't slide very well for some reason. I mean, they're really awful. Really awful. I'm trying just to get... They take forever to slide off, too. They're just... There they go. So you have to be very careful that they're just like really slippery on this stuff, or you're going to break them. So let's see how I do here. That went on pretty well, but you have to be careful because they will tear on you. So let's see what we do with this one. The other another thing really drives me crazy. They stick to you. You're supposed to stick to the model. I touch them. I gotta tell you, with the JJ Mobile, those decals were a real freaking fracking pleasure. I had no problems with those. Really, they were fairly indestructible. They didn't give you trouble. I was real pleased. Did I say I was real pleased? I see. I got a decal that's moving again. They sort of float and stuff. Be very careful to handle the model so that I don't correct the decals I've already put on. So, you know, you think you've seen decals being put on before. You haven't, because you've never seen these decals put on before. Not unless you built this model. And if you built this model, why would you be watching this video? So, there we go. More Microsoft. Anyway, we're going to do more of this and come back and show you how wonderful it looks presently. So here she is with all the decals on, and of course nothing would do that after the solve set went on that some of them moved. But, you know, I have been able to put water back under them, and because the solve set really doesn't do anything to them, I was able to move them again. What we have left to do, of course, is hit this with some matte tomorrow and seal in all the horrible decals. They were really nasty to put on. So, I've got a bunch of dots in there, a bunch of stars I did with a Sharpie. They make a white pen, so I felt it needed kind of some stars in there even when it's not lit up. I started to do a very collected area of stars here, which I'm going to turn into the Milky Way by airbrushing. And here we go. Do a little test first. Just kind of go like this. Trying to get the feeling of the gas lanes. It's not exactly what I want, but I'm so picky. Will it ever be? Little dots here and there, just for fun. Little nebulosity. Thing is to know where to stop, and I never do. But of course, you're the same way, aren't you? So there we got a nice little Milky Way sort of feeling going on there. So I think I'm going to call it a day on that. And now it's time to put in more fiber optics. Well, here we go. It's done. Yeah. Oh, well, I didn't show you everything at the end, did I? But, you know, I put in some more LEDs, and oh yeah, you can see it back there. I put in more LEDs, fiber optics, and I put in basically all the wiring and put all the connectors in the back and that kind of stuff. It's pretty boring, but you know, and hooked a power supply up to it, a 9-volt power supply, a 1 amp. It was plenty. And put it here. Mary wanted me to show it here in the showroom. For those of you just tuning in, because you only saw the tag for Space 1999, this is our showroom with all our beautiful models in it, and our edit bay, and masks, and the captain's chair that I built, and many other things. And airplanes, oh boy. Here is the actual Space 1999 model. It may have led you tag-wise to this video, but here she is. And the sun, I'll get it right the third time. The Earth, it always overexposes on these cameras, but in fact, it is not overexposed. That's how it looks. I put in the overhead lighting, which is really cool, and you'll notice that this is not something being done in Photoshop. This is a happy accident. I'm going to move the model here and turn it around this way because it's posable, see? And that's all that's causing that is the engine glow from the bells. So, and for those of you tuning in, yes, I lit it up. I know the original one was not lit up, but I'm sort of unstoppable when it comes to lighting things. I just have to light it up. It's important. So that finishes the model, and I couldn't be more pleased with it. It didn't take that long because it's a pretty simple model to build, but it sure comes out really, really nice. And I just love the engine plumes back there. So it really has a nice feel to it. See, it's just a reflection. So that does that. That concludes this build video. Ta-da! And let's not forget, with the holidays coming up, and thank you, because I've had 2 orders on these so far, which is really, really great. I'm going to make up some more, because I know there will be more. We have these available in the store. We also have Spock ears in a shadow box. It doesn't come with the original motion picture patch that I got when I worked on the show, but it does come with a certificate of authentication certificate with my signature on it, a picture of Spock as he appeared as he first walked on the bridge. We have masks for sale, like this 6-finger mask I sculpted. I actually worked with John Chambers and was friends with John, and always loved this particular makeup and episode the very, very best. We have Batman cowls, and you've seen me in that. And we have Werewolf of London, Henry Hall, available. We got a lot of stuff available. Oh yes, communion busts. And pretty soon, this, which is lighted up, it's not plugged in right now, but this ball glows and lights up its face. And it's hard to see because it's backlit. Here, I'll turn some lights on. That's a little better. There's lots of stuff in the store. You need to go to the store. You just follow the link and you'll find all the different things we have. We also make, in fact, here's some Spock ears. I've been getting lots of orders for these. These are made in silicone. They're really quite elegant in silicone. We also offer prosthetic ears you can actually wear. These are for Tammy Klein. But they are available on our store, or will be, and you can reuse these because they're not foam rubber. They're made out of polyurethane material, 2-part material, so they're very, there we go, good fit. You can use them again and again and again. We're going to be offering this fairly soon. Next week, finally, we get back to work on the movie, because Mary will be back, and this is going to be put together and animated and moving, but we offer this in silicone with the eyes open, mounted on a base, if you're so interested. And I know I'm leaving out stuff, but go check out our store. We've got lots of cool stuff. Oh, almost forgot. We're going to be doing another Kirk puppet from the motion picture, the very large puppet that was used in Star Trek, the motion picture. Doug Drexler was so kind, as he did with the Cochrane molds, allowed me to have the molds to make up those puppets and offer them at SNG. So go check that out. We have that. We even offer the captain's chair. If you haven't seen it, I think I showed it just a minute ago, but here it is again. We have the captain's chair, very authentic and based on the original all the way. That's going to do it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did making it. And we'll see you in the next build, which I'm not sure what that's going to be, but I think it's going to be a Kirk puppet. There's Kip Hart sent me the lovely big Battlestar Galactica, which is on my list to build as well. So keep watching and we'll show you some fun stuff. And by all means, have a very safe and very happy Thanksgiving from all of us at SNG. Have a great weekend.